We're live. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Twinmotion updated to 2022.2 preview 2 or something. Man, they got a weird naming convention. Not sure what that's about, but anyways, on a new version. I haven't been that thrilled with the listed changes. They've been kind of meh. I've wanted to see a bunch of improvements to the UI, to the glitchiness, to the library, to hotkeys, and not seeing any of those things. It seems like they're on some other path of just giving you more content. But I was okay with the amount of content we already had, so who knows? Anyways, bringing up a project from the last live stream. In the last live stream, we were prepping this project, and this project's finally done. So I figured we'd do a little review of it. And here we go. And I'm using my Space Mouse. I like this set. They have new speeds in the 2022 version, so I like to set my speed to 6. And then if you need to, you can hold your shift key and even speed it up faster. And 6 isn't as fast as 4 used to be, and 4 was the greatest speed. So it's kind of funny they kind of slowed down overall speed. But if you're part of the feed last time, or you reviewed it after the fact, we were prepping this particular home for a render. So I've since done that walkthrough render, and we can see some of the, decisions I made. These projects are budget based. Whatever decisions I make on the fly are kind of the decisions that stick, unless I decide to invest some of my own time, which I do at times. Pride in my work is pretty big, so I want to make sure I'm given a product that I can stand behind. So this is how the master bedroom ended up. Do kind of a full walkthrough here. It's a funny layout for a bedroom, but very interesting home. I love this indoor-outdoor feel in the rock face. So dramatic. This is one of those ones I'd love to actually go see in person, see if it's as dramatic as I made it out to be. I ended up, for the people that were watching last time, I ended up raising up these windows. So I need to go back to the designer and tell them that I did that in order to squeeze in some vanity mirrors. So that's part of it. We're walking through, seeing the master closet. We're going to have some encoder lag right now, which means that my camera might be a little bit glitchy. In a house like this, I've got all rooms turned on right now. So if we expand and look at our statistics, we're going to see GPUs at 100% and 3.5 gigs of textures, 10 million polygons. That's actually a lot lighter than usual for these projects. I don't know how that I managed that, so that's good, I guess. Can that dramatic rock face. Very strange home that you can see through from the kitchen into the master, but the master does have a pocket door, but you can still see through to this massive window they've got here. So kind of a funny design, but also, I don't know, interesting. From the kitchen, you've got pretty expansive views of all the hillsides. office gets those same views. Feedback from the client was they really liked it, really liked what I did, so that was good. This funny little angled double-sided vanity. You guys saw me kind of rebuild this shower with my my bath tools. Let's actually expand this field of view so we can see a little bit better. Get into our settings, camera, field of view. Maybe we'll pump it up to 120 so you guys can get a better look. There we go. Bedrooms up at the garage level. I love this line of sight. I feel like that would be fun to wake up with. And then step outside to your crazy rock face barbecue area / fire pit. I didn't do much here, and I really didn't show it in the videos, and it wasn't necessary. And then laundry, your garage, and then let's go downstairs real quick. So for those people just coming in, we're just reviewing the last project that I finished in Twinmotion from Chief Architect, and then I'm going to start prepping for the next one from this same developer. So you're going to see very different styles probably from this developer. I haven't even looked at the next project, so you'll be opening it with me. This is the front entry. Let's go back outside real quick and kind of see this. So the front, so you've got this patio downstairs, and then this is the front entry. And like if I had more money in the budget, I'd do stuff like adding curtains and you know, detailing out underneath these staircases. I'd have operable doors because that's kind of nice to get operable doors so we can get into this bedroom and see the patio out there, or sliders opening and shutting, that kind of thing, closet doors opening and shutting. And there's a trick to doing that in Chief Architect. And if you really want to do it well, you'll actually take it from Chief to something like Blender or SketchUp and break up the way Chief adds its hardware. But so this is the downstairs bath, little shower. Didn't really focus on finishes too much for this. Just needed to show it in concept, really. And then they had a big workout room. So very interesting house. First time I saw it, I didn't really like it. Now I kind of do. It's funny when I get to decorate these places, I get a sense of like feeling like I'm living there, and they become my home in a way, if that makes any sense at all. So that was this project. You guys can chime in, let me know if you have any questions about it. I only built out landscape enough to get, you know, my viewpoints in, did an overall walkthrough around the project. This one's interesting enough that I might spend some of my own time to develop some renderings for it, for like a ray trace view. So if we click on our ray trace toggle, can get kind of a better shot here. Of course, I got to pump the exposure up and all that and change the camera angles and maybe do a sky replacement, but might be a project worth putting some time into and making some marketing media out of. All right, let me shut it down. And so here's the next project. We're going to see what this looks like. And you're going to get an idea of just how much I have to fix when I get these projects. So next project up is, let's see, it's called Pesquino. Here we go. Let's check this out. Because I'm the last person to touch these plans, I get to do whatever I really want with them. No one ever views these plans after I modify them. So I'll turn off the grids and then I'll just use the layer hider tool and hide anything I don't need to see. I usually don't need to see dimensions, but sometimes I do. Depends on how much I need to fix. I'll take away the cross-section plans. I need the room labels just for a little bit, so I'll leave those on. Usually when I turn off my roofs, I generally turn off notes in this view, and I turn notes on in my camera view when I'm reviewing it. And then I might need, the layer hider doesn't really work on door and window schedule stuff, so might need to touch that up myself. So click on a window, get into Aldo, turn off our labels. I oftentimes turn terrain on because I'm going to end up working with the terrain a bit to prep it for Twinmotion. And then these dimensions I don't need to see. And then pretty much everything else, I just hit select all. And then I just like everything to be black. I don't like all this color. It just kind of confuses me. The other thing I might even do sometimes, because this is how OCD I am, is I might come in here for all the text styles and edit them to something that's not a sans serif font, like Chief's font is. I hate that bubbly look. There we go. This just looks a lot cleaner to me. I understand it better. And let's pull a 3D view and see what we've got going on. Only missing one material file. That's pretty good. So this is a pretty standard looking home from this developer. We've got a particular style that's pretty clear through all of their designs. This architect uses a ton of P solids for these features, which is challenging because I've got to go through and color code them differently than other sections. You can see here we've got, I don't know, some problems here, some problem areas. He's probably designating something as a footing that doesn't need to be designated as a footing. You know, we'll do some fixes on stuff like this overhang, kind of a ridge board. Be surprised if that's not supposed to be a trim board. So because Twinmotion's so good at poly crunching, this is one of the few times that I use a lot of solids. Otherwise I don't, because it becomes problematic, but I'll use a bunch of solids when I'm doing this. And then this looks like it's supposed to be a Spanish roof. So I need to get back to the client because I actually have methods for adding Spanish roof and have it look pretty realistic. So I need to see if this Spanish roof is in fact supposed to have a fascia board like this. And so kind of the first things I do is I'll come in and fix the roof. He has like a 0-inch overhang on all of his gutters, but I don't even worry about that. I just use my own 3D gutters, which I think are free on my website. If you haven't checked them out, I think they're on the website. You can get them for free. So something to note. But yeah, if you just click on this from the library, hover over your gutter, it'll just do a direct replacement. And then my gutters look a lot nicer than the default ones. And this is funny. We have 2 sets of gutters here, which is kind of strange. So I might need to get into Aldo. And I've noticed some weird glitches in X14 about gutters. So there we go. If we unlock gutters, which is, you know, by default locked in your camera view, then you can select the polyline that is those gutters and delete them. Funny, strange behavior. Yeah, see, same thing happened. Very strange. That was weird. Did these just repopulate? I felt like these just came back up. Very odd. Yeah, they did. Funny. They're like rebuilding. So Maybe I need to select all roof planes and change gutters that way. Definitely some odd behavior from X14 with gutters. So let's take a look at the interior of the house. Here we go. This is typically what I'm getting for a kitchen. Pretty terrible. We'll just let it sit there. I know some of you guys log into the stream and just like to listen, I guess, in case I say something interesting. No pressure, right? Yeah, this is a typical kitchen. Terrible, terrible kitchen. So a lot of work to be done here in order to make this kitchen make sense. Even though I'm going to stick with the same layout, we need some improvements here. This just looks sad, like a sad kitchen. So we'll do that. This fireplace makes no sense. You know, that doesn't look right. It's kind of goofy. Got to fix that, make it look nice. Staircase looks okay. I'll come through and open up all doors, and then we'll also align all walls. This is a pretty bad habit from this architect. He doesn't line up his exterior to interior walls. Oh, we can see some missing planks in the deck outside, and that's kind of funny. It's part way through construction, I guess. I like this double door thing he's doing. You see some weird grass he's got outside. You got some level changes here that don't make any sense. Probably just designated this as the wrong type of room. You can see the walls are broken up here. So plenty of model fixes to do. You can see some outlets are in the wrong place. Oh, wow. And here's... oh, man. Yeah, I never know how bad the model is going to be. This one's particularly bad. I'm not... You guys can probably see it as well as I can. This is pretty poorly prepped. So got to beautify this setup. I don't get what the high-low or low-high-low vanity is about. That's kind of odd, but I'll have to try to get my head around what he was doing there. I feel like sometimes they look at something on Pinterest and make it happen, but it's a half effort. Who knows? So a big part of this review is I need to have notes on, so I can maybe see what he's doing with notes, because this they don't do a lot of 3D views when they build or design these homes, but they will do notes to kind of designate what things are at times, which doesn't look like he did anything with this vanity. Let's open up this number 1 note here. It just says flat ceiling. So not very helpful. Obviously, we got to fix this tub. You can understand what he was trying to do. Just didn't quite pull that off. This looks like it's got to be a shower, huh? Yeah, there we go. It's just got a shower pan in here, so I got to build this whole shower out. I'll use my closet tools, which still might be free on my website, in which case I'm probably going to take them off of being free pretty soon, because I've added to them significantly recently. Here's our laundry room. We'll do some stuff in here to kind of make that look nicer. Looks like that's another closet. Let's go through to the other side, the other wing. This looks like probably a dining room. Wall alignment issues. And we got another, just a half bath that needs some beautification. Probably do a little bit of templating while I'm doing this as well. You can see some trees pumping in through the garage door. That doesn't make any sense. And then another room. So now I'll do just a floor overview to start, and then I'll kind of side by side this and then start painting out room types, which makes a huge difference for Twinmotion. I've said this in my feeds before, but anytime you have adjacent rooms that have exterior walls that are aligned through those rooms, you can't paint them differently in Twinmotion. Twinmotion doesn't know the designation of a room, so all it sees is a material ID as it's associated with a mesh, which would be your wall. So you need to paint out walls ahead of time in order to be able to do that in Twinmotion. to carry that, ability through to Twinmotion. So I'll use the plan view just as a reference, and then I've got a bunch of rooms established as style palette tools within Chief Architect, and they're down in my bottom bars here. See if we can expand that. There we go. And so something like this study, I've got a study right here that will paint this room out, and it will color code the walls for me. So I understand that when I'm in Twinmotion, this is an office. So I need, and that just cues me in when I'm in Twinmotion to pick out the correct decor before I start painting out surfaces. So we can see already here we've got a wall misaligned. And this is just best guess, which side of this wall needs to be aligned. And it looks like the exterior one, I can move the exterior one without it being problematic. Let's see. There we go. And it should be as simple as that. Another thing I'll do is I'll import defaults from my previous sets, and what that does is it paints out the fascia differently. It paints out all the electrical differently. It paints out trim differently. It paints out all the doors and windows differently. So import default settings, go target a previous plan like so. And we'll just take a preview of what that just did. So if all you're doing is rendering prep and you're going to render in a separate software, this same thing applies. So I've got everything selected. And let's take a look at what we've got. So we can see here it painted the inside of the windows separately from the exterior side of the windows. Gives me a little bit more freedom with my material choices. You notice all the doors changed color. So now we've got this color door, all the casings changed color. You can see that it painted all the trim a different color, but we're going to end up changing that with the room styles anyways. I like to be able to paint baseboard different room to room if I need to. You can see that the electrical changed colors, and then like I said, and we can't see it right now in a floor overview, but all the roof default colors changed as well. So this is just all about color coding so that we've got some freedom in Twinmotion to do whatever coloring that we need to do. So here we go, we're in the study. This is obviously a hall, so I'm going to use that hall tool. And this is just tedious work. If you've guys have questions, please chime in. I can answer questions while I'm doing this, because this is just click and shoot kind of a segment. And it takes me about, 10, 15 minutes or something like that. Because there's two closets right next to each other, sometimes I might want to paint it something different. I'm not too worried about this one. I'm probably not going to show the inside of this closet in Twinmotion, so not too worried about it. But when you have two rooms that are adjacent and then they're in the same type of room, sometimes you might want to go in and color code this by hand and paint the walls out by hand. Same thing with, a water closet. Maybe you want to have the interior walls of a water closet different from the adjacent bath. So maybe instead of painting this bath, I could paint it some other room type. It doesn't really matter. So I could paint it like laundry. And that just ensures that I can paint the walls a different color than in the bath here. See, this looks like, what does that look like? What are we at here? Oh, it's a master bedroom. All right. And it's really simple to make these materials in any kind of photo manipulation software like Photoshop, and just have it tile and make it really easy for you to color code yourself. So super simple to do this. We've got some wall joinery issues that we're gonna have to come back to there. It's kind of funny. Because we can't see the ceiling here, and because so I can't paint this room out right now. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to do it, just in a plan view. And this hall kind of carries through this great room, so that I might come in and actually hand paint out some stuff in here as well. What do we think this is? That's a funny room. Pottery room, like an arts and crafts room. Funny. I think I actually have something for this, but it's in my user catalog. Mm-mm. I feel like it's a craft room, or maybe a workshop. Craft room, got it, right there. Oh, and bicycle. Huh, interesting. This is like a storage room, I guess. I'm just going to call it bedroom 3. So that's most of the rooms. Obviously, we got a downstairs we got to deal with too. Let's see what we got going on downstairs. See quite a few rooms downstairs. This is a big project. Okay, some more bedrooms. Those people that are watching, what are you guys working on today? Someone chime in. Talk to me. Hello, Facebook user. Maybe I'll get on to Facebook, see who that is. Oh, it's Annalie. Hey, Annalie. Happy Friday. This is on Facebook, but from my HUD or hub, I should say, on StreamYard, which is the platform that streams, you have to grant access to Facebook in order for your name to appear to me. Otherwise, I got to go log into Facebook and take a look. It's some kind of parameter that Facebook has set up. Man, this is a massive house. Rec room too, huh? Okay. I'm going to call this storage. That's fine. And then we've got staircase. But we'll call it hall. All right. And now it's time to start going in. Oh, you did do it. Good job. Yes, you did. There you are. Nice. Okay. I think first thing I want to do is start trying to fix that kitchen. That's an easy one for me to start with. So I'll get upstairs and start working on that kitchen. And maybe I won't do the floor overview for that. Maybe I'll just do a regular camera. So projects are usually about 5 to 6 hours of prep in Chief Architect. And then probably about another 10 hours in Twinmotion, something like that. So, and this is when I get to use all my fun tools I've built out. And this is, the reason I built those tools was for these particular projects I get from a developer. Just makes them go quickly, makes them affordable for them, makes them fun for me. So there we go. I've already got a pre-done oven stack that looks pretty good. When I painted the kitchen out, it changed to all of my cabinet styles that just look like a nicer shaker setup than what the client uses. So that's helpful. So already we're starting with a better looking kitchen just by using my room type tool that painted this out. I have 2 different refrigerator stacks. They're just set up a little bit differently, but they look exactly the same. One of them has side panels, and another is like a single unit. So we'll just unblock this. That'll help have those moldings carry through. And then this designer always stuffs his refrigerators up against the wall, which makes no sense to me, 0 sense to me. So usually I'll try to kind of fudge that, and sometimes it somewhat wrecks the design to the point where I need to like redesign completely. So I might do that here. Probably gonna bring this over, make that a 21 inch, make this a 24 inch, bring these 2 stacks over, all this over. Oops, that seemed to have moved that in the Y plane as well. I didn't mean to do that. There we go. And then conform the height, which seems to be a funny height. What is this? What is this? 42. Okay. So that's a 54 base with 42. Should be a 96. So what's happening here? Page floor to top, 96. They're both 96, but for some reason it's not lining up. So what's happening? Page floor bottom, 96. Huh, strange. Might need to grab that molding and copy it over. Something's not lining up quite right. Isn't that funny? So I like to kill all the backsplashes. So I have a backsplash delete tool, and if we change it to a room designation, we can delete all backsplashes, and then I can come in with a custom backsplash, draw this in the way I want to. X14, we have the new tool to just replace a hood in place, so that's really helpful. And then just need to stretch this up. We also have the ability to replace in place for, say, this guy right here that has 5 drawers. So I guess they're just spice drawers. And I think I want to do their knob I like using. And there we go. Just hover over and replace in place. Well, that's a funny look. Get the functionality. It's just funny looking. Replace in place for this dishwasher, better looking dishwasher symbol. This sink seems a little oversized, but we can mess with it. Oh, it looks like the sink is the faucet's attached to the sink, so maybe let's just try this out. Let's delete it. Yeah, it is. I don't like that. I like having separate faucet sink. Makes a difference. So they wanted a single basin. I'll place this in place. It always kind of kicks back to the back a little bit too far, so I've got to tab into it, bring it forward. And then we could resize it, make it, larger like that other sink was. So hold your C key, concentrically resize. Yeah, something like that. I have a pre-done faucet kind of kit here. And this kit is made to have an offset so that if I click center on cabinet, it should actually center just the main faucet on the cabinet. It's helpful. Weird that they've got a disposal switch way over here. So we'll bring it in a little tighter. There we are. That's looking better. Some kind of graphic anomaly up here. I'll have to fix that a little bit. I'm okay with this sink. That's fine. I could stay there. Got some weird stuff going on with the toe kicks. Probably turn these into just full height doors. And they might even want some legs on this. So I kind of understand what they're doing here. I almost make this a double. Let's see. Let's revert this back to a default. There we go. And then we're still going to have that side overhang. That was kind of funny. Left side overhang 12 inches, and then toe kick, flat sides, uncheck. And then I don't really understand why they've got, oh, what is happening here? What a funny thing they've got going on here. What happens when we open this? That's just goofy. That's just funny. What do you think they're thinking there? Obviously, you don't have drawers on both sides, so probably on this side, just false panels. I wish there was an easy way to just delete the drawer handle. I bet you I can figure that out, actually. Let's see if we can figure it out. So we'll take a regular cabinet. Let's just draw a cabinet out here. And let's make this upper one just a door panel, and then let's specify it. So the only way I can figure to do this is using the copy face configuration designation within the style palette. All right, so now we've got a door panel that has no handle. So it's a false. I guess we could do a false drawer. False drawer. There we go. False drawer. Specify. No handle. And now let's save that as a style palette tool, create new, and call it false panel with no hardware. Okay, let's do that. Let's see what we can get away with here. Oh, and we have to edit that real quick. Let me open object from the library, get into set properties. I want to clear all, and then I'm going to type in copy face configuration. And check. Press OK. So now let's give that a shot here. So we want it on this one. Let's see how this affects it. Okay, so it did it. It did also notice that the one that we created was inset doors and inset drawers, and that wasn't part of what we saved for the style palette. So what we did save for the style palette was just the face configuration, which means we've got a false panel. It did flip the door swing side, so there's something which we could flip back easy enough. Now, usually I'll just reflect about itself, but in this case, because we've got a bunch of funny things going on, like the overhangs, we can't do that. So we got to come in here and designate it. Door auto right, door auto left. Okay, so now let's try that same thing here. It's going to give me, yeah, it took away that side paneling. So I think I would I'm just going to put a panel on the left-hand side. Would make a lot more sense. So left, let's go auto paneled. Oh, and does anybody remember where you specify your panels from? I believe right here. So framed panels. There we go. That's the look I want. And then we're going to make that toe kick, uncheck flat sides. Bam. Should be good. There we go. And of course we want to move this outlet's funny. Something like that. We might need to get into our transform replicate where we push this. Let's see, how is this configured? It was in the Y delta. Let's actually take a look here. We need to push this in the Y, or no, in the X, and we need to go negative X. See, we want to move it towards the left, so that's a negative X designation. So if we do transform replicate, just showing you the thought process here. It's nice to memorize this stuff beforehand, so you could just do it on the fly. But I want to move this by what, 3/8 of an inch? Oh, negative 3/8 of an inch relative to itself, I would say. And I made it disappear. So that didn't help. It's probably inside of here now. Oh no, it just fully disappeared. It's probably on the ceiling somewhere now. What do you think happened to that thing? That's gone. I could have moved it in Twinmotion too. That would have been easy enough. Oops. All right, so what's this kitchen looking like now? What do we need? Obviously, custom backsplash. Get that painted. That's interesting that it's not painting to the corner. Something about the corner cabinet there. Michael G is saying, that's not Michael. Don't know how to pronounce your name from up in Alaska, is it? Control Z is just undo. What are you wanting to undo? Oh, you're just saying undo that outlet. Yeah, I tend not to use the undo command too often. I mean, we can easily just get to our electrical plan and see where that outlet ended up. Oh, it disappeared fully. It's gone. Isn't that funny? You know what it did? It flipped to this side. That's what it did. So we could open it up in its symbol class and just force the issue. And we can move it in the Y. Like we could put a Y offset that's like another negative ½ inch. Or actually, Now it's going to be plus 1 inch. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, I just moved it in the symbol class, and there we go. It shows up. And my offset was a little heavy, so maybe we'll take another 1/4 inch back from this. So there we go. Now I can kind of place this. So now it's inside of the recess panel. Clever enough, right? And again, I like to color code these outlets different. So in case you've got a scenario where you've got, you know, a backsplash and you want to have a color backsplash, something like that. Michael, I wish we could get Michael in here one of these days. He's a fun guy to talk to, but he's usually in the field, actually. And then let's add a little bit of realism. Might throw some outlets in here. We could throw a Giphy either side of this range. In my workflow, I constantly use the copy reflect about center. That's a favorite of mine. And the copy paste works really well. It's a favorite of mine. Quickly, easily get to place those outlets. Adds a little bit of realism to the scene. And this is, I don't know, this is pretty well prepped. I might have done something a little nicer here on the end, like a closed toe or something. And maybe we want to panel these sides. So we could do that. And our front side's back. Let's go left, auto paneled. And right, auto paneled. And then get into our accessories, change the panel style to frame panels. There we go. A little nicer looking. I mean, it's a pretty vanilla kitchen, but whatever. Exactly what that is. And it helps inform me as to what the room even is when I'm working on the fly. So, you know, you see close up here, it's really easy for me to tell what each of these rooms is. Kind of helps me just in prep as well, so that I can come through here and open all doors that I want to open. So that we've got, you know, an easy way of doing a walkthrough path. But yeah, it's the biggest part about this color coding is, let me see if I can just quickly illustrate a scenario. I need to get to something with a combined wall. Oh, all their walls are jogged in this plan. It wouldn't have been so much of a problem in this particular plan, but it is oftentimes a problem where, say we've got, and this is for you, Michael, just to kind of explain this. If this room is painted drywall, as in Chief's material ID called drywall, and then the room next to it shares that, it's the same exterior wall, and it also has the material drywall on it. Twinmotion doesn't know that there's a room between these two. You know, it doesn't know that there's a break. It doesn't know that there's some kind of different material ID or different designation for that material. So you then in Twinmotion aren't always capable of painting one room different from the next unless you color code it in Chief ahead of time. So that's what this is about, is color coding not only the walls but also the trim. You will notice that the ceiling's all the same. All the outlets are the same. But yeah, this color coding is all about bringing it into Twinmotion and being able to paint this stuff out the way I want to, giving me some freedom to paint it the way I want to. There might be some times where I want to go through and fix the baseboards. So, like, we're not going to have a break in the baseboard from one room to the next. So I might actually fix that here. I like to export using the 3DS export. The Collada export's a lot different. The hierarchy is a lot different in Twinmotion. I actually don't have much experience using that method, but so I use 3DS as an export option. And so everything is exported in, like, if you're familiar with SketchUp, it's exported in like a component basis. So a wall is a component assembly, cabinets component assembly. So you can paint based on those component basis, right? But the material ID is still a big part of that. So in terms of like layering, I mean, I might just we'll probably get into that when we get into Twinmotion. It's probably easier for me to explain it when we actually look into Twinmotion. I'm not sure that I'm going to stream all the way up to the point of getting into Twinmotion because we've got a bunch of bathrooms to fix and stuff like that. But there is no room designation in Twinmotion. Twinmotion has no idea how to understand platforms or rooms or the various type of component or symbol classifications that we have in Chief Architect. It's basically a dumb model once we take it to Twinmotion. So I do need to fix this fireplace. I'm not going to do that. Let's jump over to that other bathroom and start working on that. Let's get into this master bathroom that's way over here. Here's the closets. I, of course, love using my closet tools. Look a lot nicer, and I'm improving them every day, really. I mean, I add a little something or I tweak a little something to make these closet tools a little bit better every day. So it is a millwork symbol, so it's not a direct replacement. That's my mistake. I might actually change that. But these place at a specific height, so they're meant to just drag, drop in place and populate and be perfect. So that's a corner assembly, and then probably going to need we'll do another corner assembly. Maybe maybe not. Maybe we'll just make this a corner assembly. And we've got to reflect this about itself and then drag it to the corner. And then can just do an open-ended shelf. I might drag in some more hangers, and they should place perfectly. And then maybe another closet rod. And I could stretch this symbol out. Stretch this symbol out. It's running into, we have bump on, so I can turn bump off just to get past that. Hangers that I dropped in there and turn bump back on to be able to butt it to this next shelving unit. So that's simple enough. And maybe I'll drag this shelf support over. And before you know it, we got a pretty good looking room here. Let's do, this one's going to be an end. And we'll do one more shelf support. And stretch this out. Like so. A lot nicer looking. And I even have...
Here's sleep sounds. White noise.
Alexa, stop. Whoops. Let's see. If I type in party clothes, I think I have some pre-done. Yeah, a bunch of pre-done clothing. items. Let's go take a look at those. Yeah, looks pretty good. And we can unblock these and kind of mix and match where the dresses are. These are just architectural blocks, or I might just delete the dresses. There we go. Something like that. I like to draw inference lines all the time, so I'll draw it from this corner, just diagonal, and then you can grab this and copy and reflect about that line. Simple. And we'll unblock this. And here's a nice little trick. You guys, I was talking about this the other last live feed, but I like to use the fence tool for selection. So I just want to select, and let me turn off electrical. I don't need electrical to be on, so we can use the layer hider. And I also don't need rooms, or we also don't need the snap grid. So we turn the snap grid off, so we've got no gridding anymore. Some issue with ceiling height. Let's also turn off electrical connections. There we go. Now we're just left with really a clean looking plan. Oh, we're in the electrical plan view. That's why we get to working plan view. There we go. So pull this camera out of the way. But anyways, I just want to select these last like 5 shirts, and we can do a contain selection in that way. That's simple enough. But you could also always do just a fence select, which is I can draw a line through the things that I want there and then do a fence select. Unless it flat out, maybe it doesn't work with these symbols, or it's that these symbols work based on a center. That's kind of funny. It doesn't seem like the fence select wanted to actually work there. Let's try it again. And try delete. Oh, that didn't work. So I do need to do just like a contain selection and delete. All right, let's see what this closet looks like now. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Again, would probably unblock this. We could change the color of these dresses if we wanted to, kind of grab, a color from another dress, but I'll probably just delete them. Kind of breaks it up. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So now on to this setup here. That looks terrible. Let's see what kind of, I don't have many vanity lights. I feel like I should go get into the catalogs and get some more vanity lights, because I'm not thrilled with my selection of vanity lights. Not thrilled with the world's selection of vanity lights. Isn't that a funny statement? I have always felt like we could use a big overhaul in styling for vanity lights. I've got this one. It's okay. Maybe I'll bring in something from like SketchUp, where 3D Warehouse. Don't know. Let's see. I've got symbol-based mirrors. I've got a beveled-based mirror. Let's see what kind of mirrors we've got here. Maybe I'll let you guys make the decision if someone wants to chime in. Should we do a metal frame mirror? Or we've got a beveled edge frame mirror. Keep in mind I can resize this. Yeah. Yeah. Let's start up a vanity light company. I feel like I could design better vanity lights than the ones I see out there. Got a big octagonal mirror. Got one of these. These mirrors are kind of cool at times, but because we've got the square window in between, it would seem odd. Also, I need to redo this symbol. It's a little too chunky. Maybe I'll do a series of mirrors for one of these free symbol Fridays. That might be nice. Here's another mirror that can get resized. That's kind of nice, but like a flush mirror. Maybe just do the beveled mirrors for these. Seems to make sense for what they've got going on here. It seems very choppy to put a really like standout mirror in this room. So part of the reason that this client likes to use me is because I do redesign the kitchens and the baths to some extent, and then they end up giving that as an option to the client to see, if they want nicer finishes, which I show in the final design. So they get a little bit of upsell, but also, it's a nice benefit to the client as well. They get some options there. Where the initial process is largely architectural design, and then we're kind of introducing some interior design as well. So what would you do with the backsplashes here? This doesn't make any sense. I went through this high thing. That seems odd. Why not just do a tall backsplash and have it run through? So backsplash delete tool on the room level should delete all that. And then we'll just do our custom backsplash tool. And for this, I'll just draw it out. And I kind of feel like I want to have it crawl up our window just a little bit. Maybe. Don't know. This is just on the fly. Wall-to-wall sheet mirrors. And then what? You have them cut around the window in this case? And then what's the joinery around the window? That would be tough too, right? I like that look. At times. It's not always. Sometimes you don't have great angles and you don't really want to show what you're seeing in the mirror, right? Because like when we look right behind us, what do we have? Yeah, I'm probably going to put some kind of artwork here or something. I'm actually surprised they didn't do some kind of a wall niche there. Oh, but they did in the bathroom side. See, I would change that. And the other great thing about this particular client is they will let me do things like that, where I don't find it as interesting to put a niche on the back side of this. So I wouldn't have any problem putting the shower niche on this wall instead of this wall, so that I could get a niche on this side of things, so that if we do have a wall-to-wall mirror, yeah, we could kind of play with that. So look at these mirrors aren't standing out as great as the backsplash. So let's try your method here. Let's do a wall-to-wall sheet glass, as you said. Let's just use the backsplash tool to do it. So maybe we'll bring this down just below the sill. This is kind of an ideal setup for like a wall faucet as well. You ever mount your electrical to your mirror? I've done that. It's kind of difficult. So I guess I would just cut this mirror in between the sashes and take it all the way up to the line here, maybe. And in this case, you might have a casing detail on the window. Let's see what Annalise said on this one. A 4-inch tilt up with mirror on top. A 4-inch tilt up with mirror on top. I'm not sure I follow. 4-inch tilt up, mirror on top. Okay. This is a nice benefit for me. I get you guys here. I suckered you in to watching this and giving me design advice. Ha! Yeah, absolutely. I'm in total agreement with you on that. The only thing I will what's the issue I've been running into in Twinmotion? There's something about the size of the mapping when you do that, and I can't remember if what I'm doing right now is wrong and I need to invert it or not. We're gonna have to test that. And what I'm talking about is if I make this the same material right now, it may be that Twinmotion stretches that material weird. Um, if that makes sense. So I can't remember if I'm supposed to paint it now or not. I'll have to remember that and check that because that becomes problematic sometimes. Now, because I already painted this one color, this bath color, if I wanted to like consider some design here on the fly, like if I can't really see it as I'm going, and I do need to actually get these colors right for me to understand this scene, I don't have any problem then just painting this room out. It will still have that same effect that we did the color coding already, so it should be fine. I find this really odd in Chief. When you select two items and then our movement marker goes way down below the floor. These are the kind of things I don't take the time to report either. And I should, because that's goofy, right? All right, so let's get rid of these sinks. These sinks look awful. Maybe I'll just replace them. Let's go RD sync. Yes, and I mean, there's some tools that we can use in Chief, like their cubic UV mapping you can use to kind of fix those things out. And you can always just change the material mode to paint things individually, which is why I wasn't too worried about this, being colored right now ahead of time. Yeah, a few different tricks we can do. And then also you can always just refresh the import. But that's even problematic. Sometimes it, depending on the material names, it screws that up. So if you're using a material that's named the same thing and you're using it over and over again, it can be problematic in Twinmotion. So let's see, kind of the last, I want to put an eased edge on this. I mean, this countertop looks so rough, right? So, and I have a tool for that. Ha. So we're going to paint the room out again. It should give me an eased edge profile on all the cabinet countertop edges, which it just did. That's good. That softens that look up. And then let's see what we've got for sinks. I'm really not happy with the recent change to the way sinks are being cut from the countertops. Some really goofy things happening with that. Don't like that at all. That looks terrible. So what have we been doing lately? I think I have been, I mean, I want to use this sink, so I'm going to stick with this sink, but I think we now have, let's see, the ability to not only one, make a custom countertop, right? And then it's challenging kind of shaping the hole in the custom countertop. And look, it won't even let me select it right now. I don't know why. Maybe it's on a locked layer. Shouldn't be. Yeah. There we go. It let me select it way over here for some reason. And it won't let me select the hole, right? So I did notice we have this. This feels like it's new, but convert to a 3D solid. So we'll convert it to a 3D solid, and now I have the ability to adjust the size of this hole, and we even have the ability to fillet. So we can do fillet all, 2-inch radius, sure. And then if I hit all, it just does the countertop hole. There we go. And then I can shrink that concentrically. Should be able to. Yeah. Yeah, that looks a lot better, right? Doesn't that look better? There you go. There's my solid. So over here, then, I kind of need to do, Well, I could just take this whole cabinet and delete it. And take this whole cabinet and reflect about the room. Here we go. That's looking very nice. It's looking very nice. The only problem with that is when you convert it to a solid, it brings, let's see, it brings the countertop back in. So now we're having like some Z fighting here in the material. I don't know if you could see that or not. What do? You could shrink the countertop just a hair, just a little itty bitty hair. Pull like a 16th off of it. And then change the height to 35 and 15, 16. Silly. This is silly workarounds just to get a proper sinkhole. There's got to be a way to fix this. I might go to Coeur d'Alene for the Advanced 2 courses and ask the developers about this one, because this one's really bothering me. And I feel like this is new. I feel like I didn't have these problems before. So, all right. So let's get a wall faucet. I'm probably going to go with the purest wall faucet. Just always looks good. Kohler really knocked it out of the park with this one. And nowadays they have, you know, the line just keeps expanding. I feel like this is one of those like really timeless looking set of faucets too. Does the faucet actually make it in the sink? Oh man, barely. We're not going to care about that. That's okay. Not worried about it. Okay, now if you didn't manage to get my, well, the height of these need to change it just a hair, right? We can do a Z delta, raise it up an inch. Actually looks like we're missing like the escutcheon ring too. Yeah, we are. So let's see. We can move in the positive Y delta. Let's see. Half an inch, 3/8 of an inch. Oh, half an inch actually. That's enough. There we go. And look, this bathroom's actually starting to look pretty nice. I like it. Why not? Might change the sheet glass into like, I have a beveled glass, so I don't know. Let's get rid of this ugly pan. Let's get rid of this niche. We can get rid of this niche. Isn't that funny? It's not letting me. There it is. I have my own niche tool that I like to use. This looks like, what is this? Oh, this is some kind of shelf. That's fine. It's up to, what do they want this at? 48? What would you put that at? Good question. Let's take a look at what their notes have here. Oh, so he's got a bench seat. Oh, he's calling that corner a seat. Weird. That's not a seat. Okay. So he wants this to be at, we're going to say the height of this is 18 inches and finished floor to top is 18 inches. And then let's use my shower tools. You're lucky if you got these for free. If you didn't get these for free and you purchased them, you're also lucky. These tools are great. So I'm going to place my main #1 shower tool in there. We can unblock it. We can point to point it and then stretch it out to where it needs to be, which is like so. We could center our faucet on the room. Oops. We flip it to the other side. Slam it against the wall. Bring it off the wall 1/2 inch. Center this guy. Either we're going to do a line drain or probably not a line drain. We'll just probably stick with the center drain in this case. Now we've got our curb wall. and it's not going to pick up snap to center, unfortunately. So we can just draw it out and then snap it to center. And then we've got our door. Stretch this out to the curb. Bring this off the wall 1/2 inch. Into our 3D and use our backsplash tool. Backsplash should automatically snap to the shower room. Oops, I forgot to place a niche, but that's okay. We can do it after the fact. I wish the backsplash tool worked on like a room basis. I know that would make no sense to the developers, but this would be the use case for it. Okay, and then paint with my room tool, and that makes this a shower room. And it brings up a mortar bed, changes all the materials. And that's looking a little nicer. Got something going on here. That's strange. Let's stretch this out 3 inches. And let's see, this actually should have raised up as a mortar bed. It did. So the backsplash didn't go all the way down, and I don't know why. Who knows? It's a little bit more work than I like doing on my showers, but that's okay. Hello to whoever just joined us. Welcome. Just building out a shower right now, fixing a model, improving a bathroom, look of a bathroom, using my shower toolkit. Now this is another little glitchy thing about Chief is it does not cut my backsplash around my wall niche until you do a couple things. Kind of like force a rebuild basically. So I could delete this and then undo, and that would fix it. That's a simple process. There we go. And then I just want to color code this bench with something, anything other than concrete. So I might just paint it this pink, and that'll make it so I can paint it in Twinmotion later on. And there we have it. We've got a shower. Might want to paint this curb out. Not that these are going to be the final finishes, but just knowing that they're different materials makes it so that we can paint this stuff out later. Something's going on with this assembly here. Yeah, I don't know what that little cut is about. I'll have to figure that out later. Don't want to spend too much time on it. And let's get a wall niche in here as well. Put some shelves in this. Be nice. Might want to actually use the niche tool. My niche tool is built for showers, so we'll probably actually use Chief's niche tool, which I don't even have in my toolbars. That's how infrequently I use it. Because maybe it'd be nice to have an arch in here. There's no real arches in this house, though. Maybe not. But I think something like this would just give us a little intrigue when we're looking in the mirrors. Yeah, a little nicer. Obviously, there's going to be a towel bar on the wall here. A couple things happening there, but yeah, maybe we can do some decor in there, or a plant, or any number of different things. He's got somewhat of a thick wall assembly, so we could fatten this up a bit. Maybe I'll make it a little bit smaller. So depth, let's make it 5 inches. Why not? I think we have the room to do that. Yeah. And we'll shrink it up just a little bit. Just enough for like baby plants or who knows what. I can't wait till Chief is like truly something we can model in 3D and not need to switch to plan view to do, the few things that we always need to do. I'm not too worried about the placement on this. This is just giving me the option in Twinmotion to either have the shelf or not, so that's no big deal. And then I can grab these two and center them up. There we go. Now we have the option. Of course, I could, on top of this, I could actually put just a blank polysolid fill here, right? So let me get rid of this label. And we'll do our polysolid tool. And this is just giving me the option. If I want to, I can delete this niche in Twinmotion just by, deleting the niche and then leaving the solid left over. See, this is going to be in the wall, placed in the wall, or modeled in the wall. So maybe wanted to designate that when I was making it here in this view. Open this up, set it to, 54. Should be able to see that. And height, something like 20, just so we can see where it's at. Could have just copied those settings straight from the niche, and that would have been easy too. But there we go. Now we're filling this, so I can either have the niche or not. Doesn't matter now. And just need to make sure that it's in plane with the wall. It's not at the moment, but it will be in just a second. There we go. So then we can just delete that niche and that'll disappear. There we go. So we still got to fix this bathtub. Some funny stuff there. Probably put a backsplash around the bathtub. Gonna open up the water closet door so we can see in there. Get a little peek. The closet's all prepped and looking nice. Maybe we want to shorten this guy up just a little bit. Like so. Here we go. That looks a lot better. Let's see, what's this? This is a pass through to another room, I think. Oh yeah, there's our laundry room. I like to open these up to about 96%. It's just enough to let you know there's a pocket door here. And then into our laundry, we could switch this out for one of my symbols. This is just a closet, so we'll probably leave it. And then what the heck is this? Look at this goofiness. That's something we got to fix. Isn't that funny? All right. Well, something else to fix. This is going to be a lot of fixes on this one. Yeah. So I'm going to take a break. I might just end the feed for the day. I got plenty to do. I think we made some good headway on this. And then for those of you that came in and viewed, thank you. If you're watching this after the fact, you have some questions about something I did, shoot me a message or leave a comment. Happy to look at something or explain something. But yeah, we got a bit of prep done on this, and hour and a half, decent amount of prep done on this. Probably have another, I want to say 2-3 hours left before I can get this into Twinmotion. Look at this. Isn't this a funny one? Man, there's some funny glitches coming up in X14 that I've noticed. So anyways, thanks for watching. Talk to you guys soon.